la lluna. Anem cap a Hornos.
I follow the weather though. I try to follow the weather. I set up my computer like I was in the boat, and I try to it's a good training for the weather, to know what decisions are they taking. So I'm not following a lot the website, but I'm following the race through the positions and through the weather. Well, I think Cheminée has a good advantage, and I think the advantage is going to increase because they did a very good move to the east and looks like they're going to go straight north, not tacking, and they are nearly clear the light wind area, so that they are going to go straight to cross the doldrums. And gas and Neutrogeno, they have a more tricky South Atlantic, and probably we will see a good fight between the two boats.
But you've still got a long way to go. How is it day to day at the moment?
Well, the day to day is good because the last 25 days you've been with freezing cold, and so now you are starting to have less clothes on, sailing with shorts and light winds, but you are still really looking very closely at the weather. We cannot forget that you still can have a young low coming from Cabo Frio in the ATCZ coming down, so you're still worried about the big weather coming. You have to keep an eye, but your life is becoming better after leaving the Southern Ocean. So, and your next point that you are looking is the Strait of Gibraltar, which is nearly home. So at this stage of the race, last time we were feeling very well, very confident, and still we had a big storm in front of Rio last time. Like we went upwind 40 knots for 36 hours. So they still need to watch out very closely the lows.
So today's animation, the three boats still in the Pacific, three climbing the Atlantic. Gemini Pujala well ahead there, just going through that little upwind phase, breaking into the trade winds, the southeasterly trade winds. Still a little bit unsettled, but they will get there. Neutrogena and Gaius working that top of the high pressure yesterday and arriving towards Cape Horn. That low pressure just passing through Cape Horn just now, but conditions should be quite good for We Are Water and for One Planet One Ocean. And then Renault Captur, best conditions of the fleet, still riding the front of the low pressure with good southwesterly winds, 30-35 knots, and still in no man's land in the light airs. The high pressure zone is Spirit of Hungary. So there you see Gemini Pujala climbing towards the equator. So today's ranking, Friday the 6th of March, 9 o'clock this morning. Steady progress, you'd have to say, for Gemini Pujala, around about 8 to 11 knots. Made a 243 mile 24-hour distance to 9 o'clock this morning. Neutrogena just almost the same speeds, same distance roughly, 248 miles, but making 12 knots this morning. But Gaius Centros Auditivus have been that little bit quicker, and they've closed the delta to 88 miles behind Neutrogena. So two still in the Pacific, well, We Are Water, One Planet One Ocean, on even terms, 14.3 knots versus 14.3 knots on the 30-minute speed gun, and they are only 98 miles apart. Renault Captur in 6th, well, good speeds in general, 17.1 knots, so they must be on their preferred jibe just now, pushing a little bit harder, and Spirit of Hungary a little bit slower still, 4.7, 4.8 knots, very light winds for them.
We are very happy to arrive to the Cape Horn, but at the same time, we're going to have strong wind today, so we want to arrive there not very tired and hoping not to have a lot of wind in the Cape. It's hard because it's a long race, and we have been sailing for a lot of days here in the south, in south conditions. sometimes you try to realize what you are doing, but I think we don't realize very well till we will arrive, and maybe you and some others explain us what we are doing, because we are living in our watch street, and I don't think we realize very, very well. Of course, I think we have been 5 weeks sailing in cold conditions, and we are looking for the warmer temperatures. But I think it's going to be, for days on, we're going to have at least cold and westerly winds, so we have to wait for at least 4 or 5 days. The 5 days is there. They are very close to us, so we're gonna race lots of days with him. I think it's not bad for the race, but I hope in the Atlantic we can put some miles between us. I think we are pretty well. Little things physically on the hands, little pain in the fingers, and mentally it's tired also because the south is quite hot. We pass the Cap and we go north through Europe. I think the morale will rise up.
Well, the timing looks quite good for We Are Water and One Planet, One Ocean Pharmaton as they approach Cape Horn. There's a big low just at Cape Horn just now, giving lots of wind, 35, 40 knots of wind just now at Cape Horn. And then there's another low coming behind them, the low which Renault Captur are now at the back of. So conditions are looking quite favourable. The breeze is going to build today for the two. They're only 98 miles apart, so that's good news in some respects for the 4 different Spanish skippers, all good friends and rivals, but being 100 miles or 98 miles apart, heading into this notorious Cape will give them a certain feeling of safety, certainly. And also, of course, the Chilean Navy and the team from Barcelona World Race watching over them as they go round. They should go round late on Saturday evening, round about 5, 6 o'clock UTC for We Are Water, and about 5 or 6 hours behind, as it stands just now, One Planet, One Ocean. We spoke with Willie Garcia this morning, and Willie, as usual, is on pretty good form. They're really looking forward to arriving at Cape Horn. He was saying they're trying to get some much rest as they can on the way in, trying to arrive not too tired, and they're not expecting to have too much wind at Cape Horn, but the breeze was building for them just now. Just commenting once again, he says the race is hard because it now starts to feel quite long, and they've had so many days in the south, so they're a little bit fatigued, but mostly they don't think about really how they feel or what they're achieving. It's really just about living in their bubble and going from hour to hour and day to day. And he says he really doesn't feel that it'll be until they finish in Barcelona that the measure of their achievement will be felt.
Ouais, c'est beau temps avec des grains, et puis belle mer, c'est un peu clapouteux, mais ça va. 30-40 degrés depuis l'avant, donc on va un peu contre les vagues. Donc là, on a une dizaine, 10-11 nœuds de vent d'est-nord-est, et puis ça peut monter jusqu'à pas loin de 30 dans les grains, quoi. Donc c'est pas très facile d'avancer, quoi. Voilà. Pour l'instant, ça bouge pas mal et je pense qu'on y est dans 4-5 jours, je pense, un truc comme ça. 5 jours, je pense. Mais par contre, on n'a pas encore ce qu'il faut pour choisir où on passe, quoi. Il y a des zones de molle un peu partout. Normalement, quand on prend en statistique, à l'est c'est mou, à l'ouest il y a plus de vent, et là c'est pas le cas. Il y a du mou partout, et là il y a moyen de faire piéger facilement dans les zones sans vent. Même en restant concentré, donc faut pas lâcher les choses, quoi. Alors bronzage, j'en essaie d'éviter, si tu veux, quoi, toi, parce que c'est tout de suite gris, quoi. Je finis par bronzer de toute manière, quoi. Hier, il y a eu ménage, effectivement, il y a eu... on a pu se boucher, se raser, donc c'était plutôt pas mal. L'intérieur du bateau, un peu fait le tour. Mais autrement, il y a pas mal de boulot non-stop pour faire avancer le bateau. Forcément, ça manque un peu de piment, quoi, mais... Maintenant, ça reste une course et on n'est pas, c'est pas parce qu'on a de l'avance comme ça qu'on a gagné. C'est vrai qu'elle est différente, on régate pas, quoi, mais on surveille quand même derrière, de savoir quelles conditions ils ont. Et puis, danger, c'est se dire que plus qu'à rentrer à la maison et c'est fait. Et je pense que c'est une grosse erreur, quoi.
Conditions not brilliant really for Chamonix Pugilat. No complaints from Bernard Stamm and from Jean Le Cam this morning, but it's not possibly as easy as it looks from our vantage point. The seas are quite choppy. They have headwinds just now, and they have wind against the swell. So there's not too much of a sea, he said, just some choppy conditions when the squalls build up. Otherwise, they are certainly feeling like they're getting closer into the blue skies and the trade winds, and by later on today they should be into more settled trade winds. Bernard Stamm also said that really they have to be very careful not to drop the ball, just to keep focus and keep pushing, keep feeling they are in the full race mode all the time. Yesterday they did a little bit of DIY and housework, tidied up the boat in particular, made sure that everything was in 100% perfect condition as best they can. And they've been trying to get as much rest as they can. And of course that will improve as they get into the trade winds. About 5 days, he reckons, to the equator. The doldrums are looking difficult at the moment. Certainly no obvious pattern, no obvious place to cross. Usually there is a little bit more wind in one area or another, and at the moment it's still very even, very light. He said there's calm in the west and a little bit of wind in the east, but really the picture is not settled yet. Meantime, Neutrogena and Gaius, well, Gaius have the advantage of just not having had as long in the light winds, but they are both in slightly better downwind conditions in a little bullet low pressure system, which will fade for them, but just now they've been going a little bit quicker, nice steady speeds, but the advantage has been to Gaius recently, and as I say, there's only 88 miles between the two. One of the design features of the Mocha 60s is the retractable dagger boards. Now there's a pair, one on either side of the boat for different tacks, and that prevents leeway, stops the boat sliding sideways, and provides lift.
Situation for the Barcelona race. In Atlantic first, still Pugilat, easy way to the north to equator with the trade wind, not very big trade wind, but building a few hours later. So good course to the north latitude, and we can expect it will pass equator 10 of March. It's more difficult for Neutrogena and Gaius. They are very close together, so really contact race to the two boats. They have to pass this low pressure, and they benefit with south wind, building a better course to have the latitude now. So we can expect for them will be 5 days before Pugilat at the equator. About Pacific, South Pacific, we are waiting now for two boats, We Are Water on One Planet, One Ocean, to the Cap Horn for tomorrow in the evening. So good condition to cross Cap Horn for the two boats. About Renault, he still do a big, wide, large passing in the north of the low pressure to have better pressure and to come close to Chilean coast. It could be Monday it will be 9 of March to pass Cap Horn for Renault. About Spirit of Hungary is still with high pressure and very unstable wind, very weak wind, so not good speed for this boat, but we can expect it could be to 15 of March to the Cap Horn anyway.